Oh yeah, that's right. He's back at it again. Another attempt. Okay, so if you weren't with us the first time, we have a very unfortunate soul, Jebediah, of course, that happens to be stuck out here, way out here, just trapped forever with no fuel. Well, a very small amount of fuel. It's not even worth burning. Jebediah Kerman. Everyone always loses Jebediah Kerman. Don't even feel bad for him. It's just he doesn't care at this point. But yeah, he's in a very stable non-circular orbit around Kerbin. It's pretty close to an equatorial. Did a pretty good job at that, so getting him back shouldn't be too bad. But that's not the goal. The goal is this guy over here. Okay, I have forgotten how to use the controls. Probably because I'm flying a craft, I guess? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so yeah, that's the plan, is we're gonna get to the moon or mun or whichever. But yeah, so there we go. Let's go back to Space Center. Because this is gonna happen. So 26 science. I think the plan, probably, most likely, is going to be building a craft that contains science. I have one. What was it called? Science Grabber 1.5. Yeah, so has some science on it. We're able to transmit it back. So we can just use this and fly around to different parts of Kerbin and pick up what science we don't have. Now, I believe I remember seeing before archives. Yes, Kerbin. Okay, so biomes are launchpad and water. Situations. Crew reports. So this is all of what I've done in the past. I'm kind of guessing. I'm trying not to look anything up. We're going to learn together. But yeah, so if these are the experiments, I can repeat these experiments in each one of these situations, in each one of these biomes. So, launchpad and water is all that I have. So if I launch a rocket toward, say a polar orbit, I should be able to pick up the poles, right? Over some kind of land that's not the launch pad, should also be a different biome, and then we can do a crew report, an EVA, mystery goo, a temperature scan, atmospheric pressure scan, and recovery of a vessel in each one of those situations, in each one of those biomes. So there's a lot of science out there, even on this planet, that I haven't picked up. So I think that's going to be the plan. So we won't launch the we're not going to launch in an equatorial orbit. Ooh, one more. I haven't checked this in a while. Mission control. Make sure there's nothing that I want, like this one. Conduct temperature surveys of Kerbin. I'm doing that anyway. Measure the temperature in flight. Oh, this wants specific. So this is going to want like an aircraft. I think would be the best way to do that. Which, let's go back one more. I don't think, yeah, I don't have aviation. So it would make that really difficult. Well, it would make it, damn it. It would make it more difficult than I want it to be. Alright, okay, we're back. I had a thing on my phone. So, alright. I didn't want this. I wanted the, I want mission control. Because I didn't actually pick this one up. I don't think I'm going to pick this one up. It expires in 2 hours. But I need aircraft for that. And if I fail it, I'm going to lose a lot of money. I get an advance, but I don't get an advance in science. So, conduct a focus. Take a crew report above 17,000 near zone 2VX. Now, I believe if I go to the tracking station, yes. So, crew report. Oh, I didn't look at the name of it. Yeah, zone 2VX, okay. So this is, I can't click on that? Alright, I can't click on that. But, so, actually if I just launch from Kerbal Space Center, and instead of going equatorial, just angle it a little bit inclined this direction, actually a lot inclined, so probably about a 45-degree incline, and just launch, I would hope, be able to get to 17,000, and I have to be above 17,000. It's really, really doable at that point. I think a lot of times I'm even at 17,000 by the islands. These temperature ones, they're all the same ones. They're part of that one that I could pick up. We discussed it last time. It's not too bad, but an aircraft is definitely the way to go. And then really what I wouldn't mind is picking up these with an aircraft as well. 19 kilometers, 17 kilometers. It's still very doable. These are a little bit lower. Those are a little bit higher. That one's probably the highest one, but 19 kilometers I believe is still doable with an aircraft that I can build relatively soon. And these are all above a certain atmosphere. So, but yeah, 17.8, we're definitely going to take this one, and that gets us at least a couple science. No, actually it doesn't do any science at all. This is just reputation and some money. So, I mean, maybe not. Because the completion, that altogether is going to be almost what the rocket costs in its entirety. So, it's the same thing. Focused observational survey. These are all focused observational surveys. It's the same thing. Crew report in flight above X over a certain area. So, really, I mean, honestly, even that could be an aircraft. All of these could be an aircraft, except for this one. This needs an altitude of 450 kilometers. So we're looking at, like, it's 8 science though to get it done. 56,000. Altitude of 450. We can get up there. It's not a big deal. Alright, so I think the plan is going to be the same. Just launch this, take some science from around here. It's 27,000. It's pretty much going to be sacrificial, but it's going to open up other things. What would be great, actually, if I was able to put a radial parachute on these. Can I then recover them? It's gonna make it come down kind of weird. That won't. Oh, is that correct though? Yeah, it's correct. Okay, so they should be recoverable as long as they don't burn up. I would think 2 parachutes is fine. I mean, 1 parachute gets all this down. How heavy is just one of these? Am I able to figure that out? I probably could, but that's a lot more math than I feel like doing. So, at 30,000, costs us an extra 3,000 for the parachutes, but we should save 3,000 by being able to recover these. Okay. How are we aerodynamically? Yeah, why does that look so bad? Who let me do that? Oh, the ball sinks like almost directly in the center. That I said, where's the ball going? But that's where it's going. So we'll do, how about one there? And I guess one here. It's the only thing that really makes sense. That's still terrible. It's still absolutely awful. Yeah, guess we could drain the fuel out of these. Should be all of them. Yeah, I have four-way symmetry on. Just to check. But that raises our center of gravity higher. Raising the center of gravity essentially creates more space between those two. I don't like it, but we're gonna roll with it. So, Science Grabber 1.5 didn't really change much, just made it more survivable. So we'll save that same one. And yeah, we're just gonna try to go get some science. Unlocking aircraft would be great. So maybe we'll start there. Alright, so we'll turn SAS on. It's very wobbly, but that's fine. Throttle up and launch. Okay, so we want to go in this direction. It is very unstable. I have to make all kind of adjustments to this. What did I do last time? Why isn't this working? Yeah, this is not... what did I... It's not functioning at all. And I don't know why. Okay. Was this a project I was working on and could not get figured out? Was that its deal? Do I have a Science Grabber 2.0? No, I don't. Well, alright, I have another plan. We'll come back to that. This works. So let's just slap some science on this. Turning into a bit of a mess. Okay, we want two-way symmetry on these. Barometer, we want single-way symmetry, a thermometer. Single way, there we go. Oh, didn't I also put... Oh, this is the one. Okay, I see what I did. Okay, right. And I hadn't gotten around to naming it, so this... Yeah, that should be closed. Take this off. That already had science on it. And actually, I'm going to open this because I realize, well, we're going to go over different biomes. And just to clean this up, do some aerodynamics. Fine. This has worked in the past. So we'll call this the Science Grabber 0.9 because it's actually older than everything else. I'll just remember that an older design is actually a better design. That's a stupid naming way. See, that's really dumb. But here we are. This whole space agency is dumb. Alright, same plan. Throttle all the way up. SAS on. Launch and go north. This is much more stable. I mean, I do have the keys just hammered and it's not getting down, but that's fine. starting up right as the fuel runs out. Pretty much the same as everything else. We've done this several times before. And we'll stage. Okay. Now we're talking. Yes, oh, we're already at 96. And what does our orbit look like? Terrible, so, alright. I don't really have too much to control it. I do want to fly over the pole. So, we need to go... Should stay the same. And we'll go in this direction. The normal direction, I guess? I'm not entirely sure. And we'll do a bit of a burn to then push this over to a polar orbit. Just a bit of adjustment on the way as that runs away from us, and once that lines up with 270, cut fuel. That should be pretty darn close. Okay, now we have this prograde button. We'll click that. Look at our Apo apps and Peri apps. And now, am I confused? Because we should be... No, that's correct. That's still getting us to the pole, right? For land masses. Yeah, that's where we left. It's down there. Off of, I believe, that area there. That certainly is north, but it's... Why is it... Oh, because I'm not lined up. Okay. Right, I don't have the craft lined up. There we go. So yeah, it's exactly where I want to be. We're actually falling, so it's not where I want to be. And I want to lift this just a smidge, because we do want to be horizontal. Horizontal. Don't go prograde. Oh, I guess stability is okay. It's its own thing. So it fought me the whole time. Great. All right. Spend a bit of fuel. Just to circularize this. That get us directly over the pole, almost, which is fine. We can just do a bit of going in this direction. I said a bit. Fingers. Thank you. Okay, so what are we doing down here then? 62, 61. We definitely need to give it way more. And then bring it back to the north. Let it get away from us. We want about 1,000 in reserve no matter what happens. Yeah, we're coming back in, so I'm just going to cut it. And we'll go retrograde. Can I get these? of that. Log the pressure. Log the temperature. The temperature is very hot, I'm sure. Get a crew report. Red crew report. Yeah, I'm probably not coming back here. No. Yeah, no, I definitely should have kept the other one. Whoops. Okay. And close these doors before we get to the atmosphere. Launch that. Stay retrograde. If I get a new crew report, that'd be fine. I would actually like that a lot. There we go. Yes, got it. Okay. So we'll keep that. Cool. This should be a decent bit of science. I don't have to worry about the mission, I guess. That's not the right word, but the contract. Don't have to worry about the parachute contract. We got that last time. Once we're down to about 250, as long as we still have some height. I'm not going to wait till 250 and we're 10 feet off the ground. But yeah, so let's let it go. That'll slow us down. That'll slow us down? Question mark. Will that slow us down? Did I make another horrible mistake? I think I did. I think we're gonna smash straight into the ground. Oh my god, that was tight. Okay, so with the added space, with the added weight here on the bottom, we're definitely gonna want some drogue chutes, because that was way scarier than I wanted it to be. But safe now. Do some time acceleration. Bop. Okay, cool. Now we're really far away, so I'm not going to get as much money back from the parts. Rescuing them does take quite a bit of time. But no matter. So science grabber 0.9 is, where does it say it is? It doesn't matter. We'll recover it. Yes. I guess it's down here somewhere. I never even made it off the same continent. I was trying to go to the poles and didn't even get to the pole. 57 science total. 8,000 back. So, I mean, definitely lost money, but it's okay. Alright. Mission control. So, it's focused observationals. Do any of them offer us... No, this is just people that want... They want to give us money to make a crew report. Well, I mean, that's fine. Because the next thing that will be coming up is aircraft. This expires in 2 hours. I guess I want that. It's 3 for each, so yeah, I definitely want that. Temperature survey, so this is also another one of the same, but a little bit higher. Okay. Great. So we'll go to R&D and we'll unlock aviation. Oh boy. The cool thing about aviation is that you can use some of the parts for your rockets, and it works just as well. So, building aircraft, not that much different. You'll want that, you'll want some fuel, you'll want a structure, aerodynamics, tail connector. Aerodynamics will be swept wing, directly on the side. You want mirror symmetry. Much better. A tail fin. Okay. Oops, nope, I didn't want to grab it. It's not what I wanted. I wanted to copy it. Because I actually prefer a design like that. Teeny tiny little aircraft. Okay, now we also need control surfaces for the wings themselves. I don't think it makes too much of a difference for what we're doing, but a control surface that's further out will have wingtip vortices first, and then the wingtip vortices will come in. So really, for higher speeds, you want to have them closer to the aircraft. We're going to do, I guess, something like that. There's probably something that looks a whole lot cleaner. Probably could even do 2. There, now we have controls all over. Okay. Awesome. So, it will be in contact with the ground. So we'll need these landing gears. Does this sound like insanely loud? It's only a little loud. It's loud for me, so I know it's loud for you. You also need wheels at the back. Now, the placement of the wheels on the back depends a lot on the center of gravity. Because you'll be pitching this nose up to get off the ground, you want your wheels to be as close to the center of gravity as possible without then also turning over backwards. So we'll do them about here. So just get a point of reference and then shift. Well, this looks all fine and good, except for the fact that these wheels are way higher than those wheels, which will make it sit really goofy. So, at the expense of looking good, we're just gonna shove this in there. There we go. They're pretty flat, pretty even. Another technique is to take this down to the floor and see when they contact the floor. So the front one contacts first. That means this will sit a little bit nose up on the runway, which is fine. That'll actually help us. This is a little bit behind the center of gravity, but that's also okay. And center of drag, which is also center of lift, is behind the the center of mass, which means in air this will nose forward, which is great. You always want to fight nosing over, as opposed to having this thing flip over backwards violently and having to fight nose down. Falling to the ground isn't nearly as bad as spiraling out of control. So, that's an aircraft. There we go. So now we've got 3 places that we want temperature to be taken, and it would be possible with thermometers. I'll put them here, I guess, just so I know where they are. Now we'll do 4 just to keep it symmetrical, but that'll be that. Yeah, and we'll call this temperature plane 1. Temperature plane 1. So its job will be to go out there, collect the temperature data, and guess who's like a huge idiot? How is this going to fly? Not with its wings. It does need an engine. So this is the smaller size engine, which requires these guys. We could just be real basic and just slap these on here like that. I think that's going to work for our first plane. That's good enough for me. We'll put these on the back there. just like that, and it requires small circular intake. It needs to be able to get air in. Okay, there we go. So now all of this still applies. This is actually a little bit further back, which is great. And the center of thrust is not directly in line. Directly in line with the center of mass would be great. It's not too terrible. I could get real fancy, put these wings up a bit, put these underneath the wings, angle the wings. Sure. What also I might do is grab these, put them... Oh, not grab this, and instead of being straight across, put them down a bit. Reason being, of course, that the air coming over this wing is going to be disturbed by the front wing and wouldn't even get to this. If you put the engines directly in front of the wing, it doesn't work at all. You won't even take off. So I want to have all of my control surfaces essentially visible from the front. If you line the nose of the aircraft up with your direction of travel, you should be able to see. You should be able to see everything, which I kind of can, so it'll kind of fly. I don't think there's anything left, is there? Valentina? Yeah. So let's save this. Temperature plane 1, save. And see what it does. So yeah, a bit of a bounce. The suspension can be tweaked. You can give it all different kinds of things. And actually there is... now I'm holding the brakes with the B key. Things want to roll forward, which is fine. Normally it helps, but there's a whole subset of advanced tweakables, which I do need to turn on. I did not turn it on. Completely forgot. So we'll hold the brakes. Throttle up, and I think there is a way to track that mission, isn't there? I thought, perhaps. I know if you go into map, I actually want to leave map and toggle the brakes on, hold your position. I can activate navigation. So, if we're here, I guess, fly out and around, we can do something like that. So we'll activate navigation for this one. There we go. So now it should give us a marker. Yeah, I thought it had a marker. It's over there somewhere. Maybe I'm just not close enough. Yeah, perhaps. I also don't see it on here. So hopefully it's not something that I need to unlock, which is also possible. We'll see. So, hi. Launching our first aircraft. What did I realize though?
That secondary monitor noise?
Yeah, the second monitor does look good. The other thing that I realized is I didn't set the control surfaces to do specific things. So all the control surfaces are trying to do all the things at once, which make aircraft really stable.
Much stable.
Yeah. Yeah, that was insanely twitchy. Yes, my love.
I'm just checking in.
Just checking in.
Yeah, I'm taking a break. I'm thinking about reading my book.
What would you? That's what you would like to do for your break?
Yeah, I think so.
You don't want to play a fun game?
You're playing a fun game, and I don't want to play that game.
Yeah, well, I can always do something else.
No, I'm just gonna read my book. I'm hoping to finish all my grading tonight. So.
Okay. I'm setting the authority limiter of this on the outside. Probably, I'm going to say 10 degrees. So this one will stop being effective at 10 degrees. This one is allowed to go all the way up to 20 because this will roll the aircraft a whole lot. It's further from the center of axis. These are very close in, so I'm not too worried about that, and that's the same. So hopefully this should be a lot more controllable. You can set the deploy angle too, but so we'll save it like that. This should be far more controllable. Okay, so throttle up, start the engines, hold the brakes, wait for it to spool up some, don't really have to, and release the brakes. I'm not really in danger of running out of runway. If you're in danger of running out of runway, then you absolutely want to turn SAS on. You definitely want to hold the brakes, spool these things up, because jet engines take some time. This is far more stable. I'm just going to ride this all the way out. I don't know if navigation is still set. I don't think so, because I set that on the runway. Gear is not retractable. Not with these. This is more like a Cessna fixed gear. I'm looking at this here, surface speed. I don't want that to fall. I've got some thrust, but not a whole lot, so definitely are interested in keeping this in the air, which is going to take a bit of effort, not too much. I'll watch my speed versus my angle of attack. Try to keep it out of the danger zone. Okay. So it was this first one that I wanted. And, oh, there it is. Okay, it's on the map. So, or it's on the nav ball. It's always been on the map. Try to head over that way. This thing really does want to nose over. I'm sure there's a trim setting. I'm not very familiar with setting trims, but I would imagine that there's a way that you could set these to have level, stable flight. It looks like with SAS they're already trying to trim. Just any tiny adjustment and this thing wants to fall. Alright, so we were looking at, what is this, 17 kilometers, I believe? 17.3 kilometers. And I don't have action groups set up, so we'll need to select one of these. It's going to be on the screen for a bit. Yeah, I understand. How far away are we? We are here, going there. So we should be good. It just has to be above 17.3. So we'll let this go for a bit. And each one of these is 3 science, or else I wouldn't do it. I think we've already logged the temperature before. If we can get a 4th one, like maybe over these mountains or something, I haven't been up there yet. I'm reluctant to use one of them now, just in case I miss the zone or something and have to come back around. I want that option. And you, as viewers, I'm sure also want that option, so we don't have to do this flight all over again. Time warp can get a little weird. I'm probably going to go 2x time warp. You see the physics gets really twitchy, because you saw how twitchy it was before. Now it's twice as much of a pain to deal with. It can get really out of hand really fast. Do need to gain some altitude. I don't have much speed to work with. That was a stall. I'm carrying a lot of fuel. Just a ton of fuel. So, it's also possible to not have this, or just empty it and keep the same design. Because we are falling a lot. Alright. There's no point in coming all the way out here and then going empty-handed, but we're only looking at 4,000. It's not wanting to climb anything past that. Engines have plenty of thrust. Just can't get this thing high enough. Even though it's 13 kilonewtons of thrust, I've got the key smashed and it is not climbing at all. It's 1 meter at a time. I don't think there's any way. I can't even get above this marker. So, alright, here's the plan. Go back to logging this temperature. We're going to turn around, head for the runway, land this thing, get all of our money back, and some science, and take some fuel out. I don't really need all of this fuel. It'll bring our center of gravity back as well. I think I had the center of gravity too far forward. Might even drop these control surfaces off to get less drag. It should pretty much fly on its own, and it is not doing that. Kerbin's Highlands, I don't think I've been there before. Yeah, now that we're up in the 200 meter per second range, this thing is flying quite nicely. That's very stable. Oh, another thing you should probably do is change this over to terrain. That would be handy. Mountains, alright, so another biome. That's what I was hoping for, at least get some kind of science out of it. Islands again. So, it's not really going to do us any good. Yeah, so we're looking at 6,000, and I have not changed my attitude angle at all. The angle of attack is still the exact same. You can actually even see it. I'm falling. just with the amount of drag. Probably was benefited a little bit of lift with the wind coming up along the mountains and pushing up underneath the aircraft, and now that it's not there and I'm over this plains territory, it's just falling. Grasslands, I don't know if I've been there or not. So alright, so that's 4, and we'll bring her back in for a landing. It is really trying to fight me. I think I put the lift is far behind the center of gravity. It should be barely behind the center of gravity. That's all, and then we'll be back out, much more stable and much more faster. Okay, so we'll come in for a stabilized approach, which is going to require turning this time down. Now, as this is a new aircraft, I have no idea what our numbers are going to be. Stabilized approach is going to matter what we're doing aerodynamically. I also did not determine stall speed. I think it was somewhere around probably, I want to say 70 or 80. We're coming in way too hot. .166 at 700 meters. It scuffed off some speed, so now we're actually going to put some throttle back in. Remember, there is lag, so just because you put throttle in a couple seconds ago and it's not there yet, avoid the Chernobyl disaster by just slamming it all the way into the wall. Kind of what I did. Alright, over the numbers, cut throttle. Down nice and easy. Got plenty of time. Got lots of float. Lots of float. 60 was not my number. Bring it in. That is... yeah. And just porpoise all the way down. Nice. Throw the brakes on. Wonder if your brakes are even working. They're kind of not. Wait, do I not have brakes on these? Okay, don't have brakes on those. That's fun. Alright, let's turn that to like 150 instead. Cool. Alright. Well, it was an attempt. Hopefully we didn't lose too many parts. So, 29 total science. Didn't get a whole lot from that. Not terrible, though. I've done much worse before. Okay. Center of gravity, center of lift. So we got a lot of drag back here. I like having the multiple control surfaces, though. So what does this do for us? Not much. Not much at all. What does something really wild do for us? Like, what does that do? Oh, well, that destroys everything. It's a weird angle. We'd have to fix it. And it puts the center of gravity behind these wheels. We'd have to pull the wheels back too. An easiest thing to do, if we were just talking about easy, would be just throw a canard on the front. Do we have canards? No? Can we make one? That looks horrendous. But it would work. And I guess in theory it would work. Looks a little bit less worse. And that's still with it empty. What about, this is getting real wild, take another fuel tank, place it further forward. No, that's pretty much just as bad. Okay, even without this, why is there so much drag back here? Is it these? What does this do? Okay, well, where does it want the wing then? Here? Doesn't want it down there. That's fine, because I don't either. Okay, let's work off of that then. So that's empty. That's full. These are goofy. Aerodynamics, you need control surfaces. That's just a fact of life. So what if they're like real close though? What if we did that? A little better. Actually, it's quite not bad at all. We'll do like we did before. Still not great. These aren't... Yeah, they're not control surfaces. I'm not opposed to taking them off, but you definitely want... That's not much of an aircraft. I think the tail fin stays on. These need to change. Those should be about there. It's kind of where I had them. Can these slide back any? Like that. Okay, how's that? Thrust to weight ratio is 0.6. Not really done the math on how that works for aircraft. I'm sure it doesn't matter quite as much because you have lift, so as long as you're going faster. Alright. Little 2.0 action there. Alright, let's go get that temperature. Throttle up. Let's launch it. Stop. We don't have control surfaces. I never put them back on. I won't revert the flight. No one died. Just wasted some fuel. Aerodynamics, Elevon. Right, that should be good. And then actually I want to... So this will only be roll. This will only be yaw. And these will only be pitch. These will also be, I guess, 200%. And you can't brake with these. Friction control. Sure. Okay. Nothing fundamentally changed with the plane. We just made it, I don't know, functional. Try again. Didn't really get our navigation point set in time. It's a little bit dangerous to do it now. Very quickly running out of runway. Okay. I probably should have taken off. Throttle up. Brakes on. Activate navigation. There we go. Could even do camera chase. Brakes off. Once we're over stall speed. The closer your plane is to the ground, the more difficult it is. Why I was kind of hoping to just, you know, that distance right there is very, very small. So my plan was just run the runway all the way out. Whenever we touch the ocean, well, not touch the ocean. Whenever we got that extra distance, then take off. That's the plan. Need to lose more fuel. Is it too heavy? Are they too... Like, should I... Where's my center of gravity? This, like that? Seems just as bad. It's not going to do us any good at all. Try it, I guess. Okay, 100th time's the charm. So this, activate navigation, throttle all the way up, that, hold the brakes. Got a system now. now it's really wobbly though. Like that was our old problem. Yeah, I wonder if... Okay. Let's do... Back to the hangar. I need to turn on advanced tweakables and play with the suspension settings. So I think that's in this one. So now spring damper. So I want the spring strength to come up. We'll do like a 2. And then the damper a 1.5. Same thing here, but not quite as much. This will be a 1.5 and a 1 1/4. This is a pure 100% guess. I just need to get the thing in the air at this point. Activate navigation all the way up. Hopefully that'll give it some extra spring. Hopefully that'll give it some extra damper. We can remove that oscillation. Nope, we made the oscillation way worse. Can I fix this on the fly? Yeah. Oh. Well, okay. So damper strength needs to go up. Basically 2. Maybe a 2.5 on the spring. Yeah, sure. This is called digging around with suspension parts. Love that Valentina's just happy, just doing her thing. Just really thrilled to be here. Glad you're happy to be here. Okay, that was much better. Oh, and this one is actually purple. I think I had the other one selected the first time around that we did this. I think I had the wrong one. So that kind of works out. Because I was going in the wrong spot. Oh, SAS is also not... I wonder if that would have helped. You think? Look at how stable that is. I was just letting it do its thing. Never put SAS on. I'm sure that would have just been so much better. Alright, so we want to overshoot. This looks stable as hell. This is perfect. This is really nice. We're increasing altitude. That's logarithmic, so it may look a little bit deceiving. It's not really 15. It's a little bit more than that. Yeah, that is stable. Oh, the rear fins aren't even trying all that hard. This is pretty much just working itself. Still climbing in speed, which is great. We're getting higher in the atmosphere, which is also great. That means that we'll be able to continue to climb. We're losing a bit of thrust because of the loss of atmosphere. Atmosphere, but it's just, I think we're still going to be fine. Yeah, this is going great. No clue what that is. Why does it think? Why are we on this? That's not how I'm flying. I'm flying like that way, right? Going out to this one? It's a tad bit confusing. Okay, I do want to have that up. Conduct temperature surveys. What do we have? 4F. I think it's this one. Yeah, the 4F MDG. That's the one we want. Which is 17,000. So we got a ways to go. Maybe, am I stupid? Is 17,000 actually really hard to do? 17,000 meters. How many? That's going to be damn near impossible. Didn't even think about that. This is going to have to be individual flights with a rocket. Or strap a rocket to this plane. We're not going to be able to hit 17,000. 17,000 is completely out of reach for an aircraft. $17,000 meters, 50,000 feet. I think that's way out of reach of this thing. We're already dropping off in the atmosphere. Which is going to just murder our thrust. We're not even halfway there. Need to set up controller support for this. Yeah, that is a very aggressive angle of attack. And we're actually climbing slower than we were before. And the control surfaces are really trying to keep us here. And this is at 7. It's still not even half. Yeah, this is a really half-brained effort, guys. Yeah, we've already been over the highlands. Yeah, so, okay, well, we have a functional aircraft. It just doesn't function for what we need it to. Yeah, we're falling off in speed, not able to maintain this. So, our service ceiling is about 7,600. Even if I angle down a little bit, sit a little bit, keeps wanting to fall. Stop trying to fall. Like, what? Can you not? To like overshoot and then let it fall where you want it. Yeah, now we're dropping out of the sky like a rock. Alright, so Okay. And rolling is... See, this is the trouble. Once you're up at a higher speed, you really need to turn these two off, because it rolls way too fast. And then use your ones on the inside. And we'll be making a return trip. Because guess who didn't think about things again? So we're just going to just really blast this out of here. Oh, well, that was not the plan at all. Plenty of fuel, though. I mean, you know, we've got all kinds of fuel reserves. If we wanted to fly around out here, we certainly could. Okay, do a barrel roll, I guess. Extremely twitchy aircraft. And you want it to be twitchy down low. To an extent, of course. But it's not like I can just turn these off or take the authority limiter all the way down. It'll be nice up here. On the ground, I won't be able to roll at all. Yeah, we already got this one. I think we pretty much already have everything around here. So, like flying an aircraft, we'll come in to about, let's say here. And we'll start the turn for final. I wonder if I can target that. Yeah, I can. So we're actually going to go on an angle until that flag seems to line up with the 90, because it's conveniently runway 09. Like that. And then we will also line up on 90. Eventually, hopefully. I'm actually going to cut throttle because I'm going insanely fast for this. Probably even just do a little S turn here. Ooh, okay. Okay, alright, stop. And now we need to add throttle in. Great. Small S turn. Okay. Now cut power back down. What a disaster. I would definitely abort this approach. This is not lined up at all. This is not stabilized. It's just so twitchy. I've got stuff all over the screen. It's really distracting. I can only imagine what it's like for you. Come in, flare. Float down the runway. Yeah, I would have aborted this so long ago. And slam the brakes on. As hard as possible. Just to get out of here. Okay. I'll recover. Got 0 science off of that. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, so 17,000. We would have to do some serious work to be able to get that to line up. Not serious work. It would be very doable. Especially with a highly controllable rocket. You could just fly that thing right over there. It would just be 1 rocket each. And that mission... That was this one? Yeah, that mission would be 8,000. So, if we're spending 8,000 for each one, we're just getting the science. Unless we're able to recover the rocket parts. Which we have no debris from anywhere. Okay. So I think this is the one that would be doable. But, so here's going to be the plan. We'll leave it at that. This has been a terrible disaster. We've done nothing but lost money and lost time. Which is fantastic. So, yeah, I encourage you to